Hey guys. So I've done a couple of posts on this recently, and it's really in response to a massive amount of pivoting and innovation that I'm seeing in the world at the moment, which is fantastic. And being a software development company, we figured we would refine a product and an offering to try and help all this awesome movement that's happening in the world. So I just want to talk you through this offering with the view to hopefully give you some tools or some knowledge to know kind of what to do in terms of next steps and to see if we're a good fit to speak to take your idea forward. So we start with three problem statements, and the beginning is, I guess, just to see if these resonate with you. So the first one is that you have a concept for a product, an application, a system, whatever the case may be, but you really need more information and validation to know whether it's worth you spending more of your own time, your own money, trying to raise investment, etc. So you have the concept, but you don't really know whether you should spend more money. The second problem statement is that you get a strong sense of how the product will flow, but you want to get something more tangible that you can actually show to potential funders, investors, early adopters, stakeholders, etc. So you have this idea, but you're having to explain it all the time, or you've put together a PowerPoint or something, or a keynote, but it's just not really doing a good enough job. You want to really take something that's slick, that's beautiful, that's thought through, that really immerses the subject of your pitch or your explanation in exactly what it is that you're trying to show. Something that's clickable, something that you can put up and really give a strong sense of what this thing is all about. And the third one is that you want to get your concept fleshed out and visualized, and you want to have it closer to or ready for development. So this is maybe when you've done a bit more work on this, you know more about what this thing is going to be, but you want to get some design done, and you're pretty close to the next step, which is taking it to a software development company to build the product out. So if any of these three statements resonate with you, there's a good chance that this is probably going to be a worthwhile little demonstration. So what is a prototype? So a prototype is many things. In the software development world, it's a clickable interactive mock-up. So it is clickable. You can put it up on a screen. You can often even put it up on a mobile phone. And when you tap it, it does things. But it only simulates how a product will look. So it's not the actual product itself. It's a low-tech version of what a product is going to look like and how it will behave. The design can be used on the intended devices, so desktop, mobile, tablet, etc. And it can be navigated as if it was developed, but it doesn't have the costs typically associated with development. So it's really about getting a quick and high level of experience for the idea that you've got onto the device that you want to have that idea for. So you want to build a mobile app, for example. This will give you a bunch of screens. When you click next, it'll go next. When you click sign up, it'll take you to the next screen. When you click select this geography, it'll take you to the next map or whatever the case may be. But it's all just design. There's no development, there's no coding behind it. So it's quick, it's effective, it's very low cost, and it really helps you to take your idea further. But it's before you invest in the product development on the software side, on the coding side. So in essence, it's low tech. It's quick and easy to use. It's extremely cost effective. It provides clarity of the business case. It enables you to test ideas early and at low cost. It allows you to showcase something very tangible to people that you want buy-in from, stakeholders, friends, family, investors, early adopters, whatever they might be. And it also presents a clear roadmap and the next steps. So going through this process, as you'll see, really will refine a lot of your thinking and refine what comes next. So in our case, we've got 9 steps to our prototyping process. So the first one is concept and alignment. Then we move into research and ecosystem, and I'll explain all of these in more detail in a minute. Then we move on to focus on the users. We get through into user flows and sitemap creation and design. We then do a little bit of work on branding and positioning in terms of the market and how you stack up. We'll then move into wireframing processes, and then onto high fidelity designs, the actual screen designs. We'll then put that into a clickable prototype, which is what we spoke about, the high tangible, touch, clickable, navigable, if that is such a word, prototype. And then we talk about next steps to actually turning this into a real live product that goes into development. So to go into a little bit more detail, the prototyping journey. First step is we run through the lean canvas methodology. It's a very, very well used and an excellent and very efficient process. where we really look at the business model and we gain alignment for all the stakeholders. This is a very, very useful process. Even if you're not doing prototyping, this is a super useful process. We'll then do some research into the competitive landscape as much as we can to explore the ecosystem and to present a clear summary of the environment to better position your product. Why is it different? What else is out there? How might you stand out? Is it even unique at all? What is the moat? What is the defendable position, etc.? The third step is around a user-centric approach. So this is really where we unpack who the product's core users will be or already are. And then we're able to outline the core features in the product that will help the users achieve their goals. So it's really getting into the psychology, and it's a bunch of assumptions, but it's getting into the psychology of the users, what they need, what their challenges are, and how this piece of software will take their challenges away or help them get past or through their challenges. Then we'll work on diagrams and sitemaps, and they're used to illustrate how the users will move through the product to achieve their goals. And this is really about user experience and making this application sort of come to life in terms of the actual experience of using this application. How will it flow? How will we move through and navigate the system? And then the fifth step is it's more around design. And as Gordon, our head of design, likes to say, that the most important thing about design is how it relates to people. And this is where we explore the branding and we try to position and communicate the problems that you solve for your users through this process. So we don't go very, very deep into this. It's a first stab at the branding, but it's very, very important about how this communicates what you want it to communicate to your users, the colors, the palettes, the designs. As Gordon says, it's the most important thing about design is how it relates to people, not just the fact that somebody thinks it's pretty, right? Then the sixth step is we look at user flows and screen layouts. And this is really about only focusing on the screens that illustrate the core functionality without being distracted by the branding. So this is, again, just looking at how the application will flow. What are the core features without the distraction of design? Really just looking at the flow of the application and the features. Then we take the branding that we've worked on and the look and feel, and we apply it throughout the interface to ensure consistent messaging and user engagement. So this is where it all starts to sort of come together. And then we put it all together, the finalized designs, into a clickable prototype, which we begin to then test on users and incorporate feedback where we can. And then finally, we look at the possible roadmap and milestones on turning your prototype into a real product. So that step 8 is really sort of the finished product. That's when you actually get a thing that you can demonstrate on your device to stakeholders, investors, friends, family, early adopters, whatever the case may be. And it's really tangible, it's high touch, it's beautifully designed. There's a lot of thought that's gone into this. By this stage, you've identified your users better, your business model. And at this stage, you really should be a lot clearer on what the next steps are, whether this is worth putting more funding into or raising funding, whether it was a terrible idea and maybe that you decide you don't want to pursue it. But at least you've gone through an incredibly useful process that has yielded results at a very low cost point. So in our case, we have 3 particular packages. We've got the Blitz and the Rapid and the Full. And really, it's about time. So the Blitz is a really quick offering. This is really just about building out a new feature in an existing product. So it's a little bit different to the others. Whereas the Rapid and the Full are about actually taking a full concept, a full idea, and really putting it through a great framework. And you can see pretty clearly what these include. So I've run through most of this stuff already. Most people sort of go for the Rapid prototype because it goes through most of what we spoke about and delivers a really great interactive prototype. And the only real difference between that and the full package is actually getting it to development ready status. So that's really where it's actually able to be effectively handed over to a software development partner and said, hey, can you cost this for us and give us a plan to build this out? So the vast majority of people will go for the Rapid prototype. Hopefully this was informative, guys. And if you have a good idea for an app or a system or what have you, I hope this has given some clarity. This is a great first step to take to test your idea. And if this is of interest and it sounds like we'd be a good fit, please reach out and we'll happily discuss. Enjoy the rest of your day.